What's going on, Descendants? It's your boy, Mr. Pellier today, and today we have the first concept build I have for Valby. It's going to be like an AOE lane build clearing, and the first thing we're going to be focusing on is going to be the cleanup skill. This is a non-attribute skill, also dimension. The main thing we're going to be doing about this is first we just got a little bit of cooldown here. Alright, I just started playing around with it. You have two options. Either one, put on MP conversion for the extra skill cooldown. This will bump it up significantly, which will also decrease your cooldown for laundry bomb, the cleanup, the plop, plop, and then the bubble bullet. The reason that it doesn't really matter though is because if you can see the cooldown for this, for example, it's 22 seconds. Duration is 19 seconds. So you do have a 3-second downtime in this, which does suck. But what we're really going to be utilizing this build for is for the cleanup. We're going to be focusing purely going onto the liquefied state, getting damage reduction, doing damage, and tick damage. Now, as you can see, the stack cooldown is at 19.4 seconds. Duration is 19.2 seconds. So you have a 0.2 second timing window that you will be downtime in, but that's okay because I originally had this cost 9 and I don't think it's worth it for the 9. I think we're gonna go for power. We're going to go for damage. So my first thing is we're gonna add dimensional specialists, and this is gonna give you an extra 19% dimension skill power, and you can bump this up significantly. This will affect either our cleanup ability and our plop plop. We're gonna be going in and out of these as much as often, and we're gonna be utilizing these very often. So besides the dimensional skill specialist, which buff these two, my other theory was range, skill expansion. Because we're doing skill expansion is because that would increase the meters or the range for this. Let me save this quick. There we go. So as you can see, the range in this, it goes from 20 to 2.3. Now, if we can get a bunch more in this, we can really buff this up to craziness and buff up the duration. Again, when we get this duration up a little bit more, we will have on this one, as you can see, the duration's at 19.2 seconds. Eventually, when this buffed up a little bit more, this will override the stack cooldown time, or it'll be above the stack cooldown, so then we'll have 100% uptime on that. And then it'll also increase the duration for your liquefied state, which is when you're going into like the water form. Also, as you can see in your liquefied state, you get the 50% damage reduction. Eventually, when we get down the road, we're going to be stacking that DR with more DR right here. Sensory deprivation will increase that damage resistance, which this damage resistance, and this one's not maxed out yet, so I believe it can go over 10%. So we'll have a 60% damage reduction when we're in our cleanup form. So that's pretty good. Get out of a lot of damage. So moving on from there, we have the focus on non-attribute. This will give us a bunch of more skill power for our abilities. Also a little bit of cooldown, which helps us out in the end. And then shock punch, obviously you can use whatever you want for that mod. We're using the MP collector, which will give you 17% chance when it's maxed out, so that's really good. Then we have the emergency measures. This one's like a staple build in like most builds, because as you can see, it's skill crit hit rate 42%. When that gets bumped up, I think it's like 60% or something crazy. And then obviously the skill hit crit damage, which will be utilized because we're hitting tick damage all the time. Moving on from that, we have the skill cost. We're not really caring about the skill cost here. We're more for about the skill effect range, again, for the range of the meters and everything. And then once again, skill duration. So we get the length of it, so it's on the ground longer. Down the road, when you can, we'll need more range. I hate when I do that. We'll need more range here. We'll add skill expansion. And then we'll add the damage reduction. And then I think that would complete the build. The only thing I'm missing out here is on the skill module. There's only 1 or 2 I believe I can unlock right now, and none of these are talking about the liquefied state. So I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with that, or if I'm going to even use it at all. On a side note, you basically have like 2 options, I think. We either go singing water whenever that'll taunt enemies, but I think that'll be used for my ultimate build with my unlimited spam for my ultimates. And then the other one would be supply moisture. Actually, it might be a really cracked one, because when you're on water, aka all the time, because they're going to be on water, increases your skill crit hit rate and the skill duration and firearm attribute trigger rate. But reduction of MP consumption does not apply, so that doesn't really matter because we're going to be getting a bunch of kills, and they'll just feed all back to our build. So I think supply moisture, if you do get this one, would be the best one to get. And wow, looks like I can get it. So it looks like I'm gonna go farm Hagos. But there we go with the first concept build for Valby. I do have 2 more for you guys. I am working on the spam abilities. We're spamming the bubble bullet and the plop plop. We're gonna be spamming that like all the time. We're gonna have insane cooldown, like 5 seconds or something really small, and then you're just gonna have water all over, shooting bubbles everywhere. And then my other one is gonna be alt for days, as you can see. Basically, you're gonna get this cooldown really, really, really low. Like as you can see, it's right 21%. And then with the MP collector, whenever we get a kill, you'll also be able to refresh some of that, and then we'll get rid of the skill cost, so it costs like nothing. And then we'll get the cooldown so low to like 15 seconds. We'll get the duration, as you can see, at 3 seconds. We'll get that up to like 5 seconds. And then, 15-second cooldown, 5-second duration, 3 bombs. That's 15 seconds for uptime for your bombs. And then just get insane range with it, and then just be able to suck up all the enemies. So those are my concept builds I will be working on, my spam one and my ult for days. But my main one I'm going to be working on right now will be my AoE laner, which I think will be one of the best ones with Valby down the road. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like down below. Peace.